I'll go over some baseline defense stuff. All right, so now if coach is on shot you want. All right, so coach is in on the high crotch, and so for me, I'm not a big guy that likes to sprawl because I just like kind of push my balance off a little bit. And so for me, on the flip side of things, when I'm the guy in the offense, the head position is one of the most important things. So the first thing that I'm going to do on the defense side of things is I want to control his head position. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stuff his head right here. Right? That's number one. And no matter what he does, right, even if he has me in the air and I'm lifted, right, I'm still pulling on his head. Right? I'm going to make it really hard because I'm pulling his head. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk my feet back and over his head in a circle. The reason why I'm doing that because if he's clenched like this, that's where he's real strong, right? But when he's extended, he's not going to be as strong, right? So my goal, as soon as he's in this leg, I kind of bend my knees a little bit, and I don't like to sprawl, and so I push his head down, right? And so now I'm going to start walking my feet back, right? And then I'm going to start walking in a circle, and as I'm doing that, I'm going to use my outside arm, almost like a crowbar, or I guess like a tight waist, and so I want to get his weight over to this opposite leg right here, right? Because his power right now is on his right side, right? And he shot with his right hand, so I want to shift his power over. So that's why this, I guess, tight waist or whatever, I'm going to use this to shift his weight over to the other leg, right? And I'm also circling over that way. So I want all of his weight and all of his pressure all on one side, right? I don't want him evenly balanced to where he can use his left and his right to hold me up, right? So first thing, I'm pushing down this head. I'm going to walk back and in a circle, right? I'm going to keep my feet moving, over in a circle, right here, right? So now too, if you notice, when I'm running my feet, right? I'm also going to have my feet planted, right? So he's in, right? I'm circling over his head. And now once I get over his head, it's important now too that I no longer plant my toes, right? Because if my toes are planted and he drives into me, right, I'm going to help him almost bring me up. Once I circle over, right, I get over his head. Now I want my laces down on the mat. So once he comes into me, right, and he slides, I'm just going to kind of slide off of him, right? And now for me, I always like going for like a big penny combination type deal. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him to this hip, almost same kind of theory, right? He's holding my leg. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go switch cradle over towards this side. So I'm going to do this outside elbow. I'm going to come right in his rib, right here. Now I'm going to fish through. Now I'm going to lock right where his knee crease bends, right here. I'm going to step this leg up. I'm going to go get it, and I'm going to pull this leg up and shelter right here. And it's real important that I stay high and elevated, right? If I'm down right here and coach adjusts, right now we're in kind of a scramble. So it's really important that I stay high and I keep this elbow right in his rib right here. I keep this elbow right in his rib. Again, this lazy planted right here. But now what I'm going to do is we're going elbow deep, right? And now I'm going to sag over his hip. And now once I get here and I go for my cradle, it's really important that I think about making him do a somersault. Right? So I come over, right? Go switch cradle, my elbows come in his rib, right? I'm almost like I'm kind of doing a switch, like almost like a switching motion. I'm bringing his arm inside. I'm walking between where his knee bends, right? I'm bringing this leg up. I'm using my elbows again. I'm using my chest to hold it in. My elbows in his rib still the whole time. Going elbow deep. And now once I lock my cradle, I don't kind of want to just fall to the side because if he's scrambly and he's rolly, right, and he kind of brings his arms out, I can get caught up a little bit. So I want to think about making him do a somersault over his head, right? So I'm going to make him do a somersault. I'm going to kick this leg through, and I'm always going to finish on top, right? And I want to make sure that my leg always splits through the middle. Again, one more time, he's on the high crotch. I kind of just use my chest over his shoulders, pushing his head down, Right, so now I'm gonna walk my feet backwards in a circle to get him extended. Right, once I get him extended, I can kind of let go of his hand and close his hand. Now, again, I'm still using this tight waist, or I call it a pro bar. I'm gonna get him over this hip. Once I get him over this hip, I'm switching my arms. Right, I'm putting this arm right in his rib. I'm almost going switch motions right here. And I want to make sure too that I can bring this knee almost closer too. Right, so I'm almost giving him my leg. I don't want to sprawl like this and then try and reach for his leg. Right, I almost want him to think that he kind of has my leg. I want him to keep it nice and tight. Right, go through the switch cradle. My elbows go on his rib, elbow deep. Cradle now. I'm making sure that I'm making him do a somersault over his head. I'm gonna follow through. I'm gonna split his legs with my legs.
One thing you know, y'all, he's putting in my floating ribs, not a pie. Right down here where these nice and squishy ribs, you guys feel where those are? He's putting his elbow right into there.
Did we handle that one? All right, let's give it a try. 3, 2.